Right, the Reds Monday morning after the first weekend of Premier League football then. The Reds won 4-1, of course, on Friday. We've got to see what everyone else is like and general conclusions, I think. The Reds are sound, they're still going to keep blowing sides away. Spurs look pretty sound, City are City, and everyone else is shite, pretty much. That's been talking Reds. See you tomorrow. No.
Thank you very much.
I'm Gareth Roberts, this is Craig Hannan, if you don't know that already. Just talking about the Norwich game then, Craig. I mean, I've seen various moans over the weekend and stuff about, you know, the fact that Norwich came into it a little bit second half. They obviously scored a goal. Some question marks around the defence and the defending. The fact that they got in behind us a few times, got down Trent's side a few times. But I've got to say, I'm really not concerned at all. I mean, like, you know, I would have took a 1-0. I would have took anything that resulted in 3 points because it's the start of the season and all it's about at this stage is winning. I get that people are going to do the City thing again. On that, by the way, I think we've got to stop doing that. Everyone's got to fucking sort of forget about City because if you just live the whole season from week one going, yeah, but City did this, like, so what? So what? Let them do what they're doing. Obviously, you're going to see it on Match of the Day maybe and read about it in the paper sound, but just don't let it stress you. Enjoy the Reds. The Reds are still sound. And it's like, you know, people said to me about the defending and all that sort of stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but so much of Friday was right, though. So, you know, like, you can get stuck into Trent, but look at the ball he puts in for Divock Origi, and you can get stuck into Divock Origi, and some people were doing that, but he scored, forced an own goal, set up Henderson, I think, for that chance second half. Generally did all right. He's in the Athletic today saying he feels a lot more comfortable now with Jurgen's tactics and stuff like that. It's all good, isn't it? I'm not spinning it.
It's a measure of where we are. I think that like people are trying to pick holes in a 4-1 win, and look, it's Norwich and they've only come up and so on. And we were 4-0 up at half time. At half time, I thought we were going to win about 8, and I think it's just a case of we took our foot off the gas a little bit. But
even then, we could have scored 2 at the start of the second half.
No, you're right, and I think I think you're right on both things. I think Liverpool were pretty good. We know they can be a lot better. They've won 4-1, so that's a positive in itself. I think the City thing, didn't watch it, haven't seen the goals, only saw the score really because of Twitter, and that's basically what I'm going to do this season. I'm just going to enjoy it.
I watched it.
And enjoy it game by game.
I was all right with it. You know what was good, by the way, is one thing that I took from the weekend is Pellegrini when he decided to highlight in the press conference that City systematically foul, because they do.
Yeah,
basically any time you try and attack them, you've got a lad booting you off the park.
And he's a new signing as well.
But they seem to do that thing as well, and it's clever, and it goes on in Sunday League right the way to the top. But you know the thing where you sort of take turns to foul, so you know you're not sent off or whatever. And I think I'm absolutely sound that Pellegrini's like throwing a little bomb into the public domain and gone, watch them, they're systematically fouling, because that's the type of thing that Ferguson used to do when he knew he had a rival. He'd just throw little bombs around the place, and obviously it really pissed Rafa off once to the extent that he got his sheet out. I still say that was fucking brilliant, by the way. But I don't know, I mean, like, Klopp just seems a bit nice, doesn't he, for all that? But I mean, maybe he's got to get stuck in. Maybe he should be, maybe in his press conference this week, he should have been saying, what the fuck were them kecks Guardiola had over the charity deal?
I'll get into that one 100%. I just hope he would. Did he wear the same mad kecks again, or is he another different pair? What like has confused me about Guardiola over the past 3 seasons? This is the 3rd season. Is that he wears the same thing every single week?
It's a meth, isn't he? A rich meth.
Get some. Yeah, you've got money, lad. Get some clothes. I think Klopp's calculated in everything he says and does within the media, and I think everything's a lot more thought through and than we think. So if he thinks he needs to throw a bomb, he'll throw a bomb. But I just think on the match, I think like if you look at the goal scorers, I think, you know, I wanted Origi to get a goal. I wanted him to sort of kick on and keep going, and the momentum that he's sort of gained through the last few months of last season, and then in pre-season as well. I wanted to get one. I wanted Salah off the get one on the board as early as possible, so there's none of this like, oh, Salah hasn't scored.
And there was that, though, wasn't there? There was that about like the Community Shield, about, oh, you know, he's missed all these chances, and similarly, some of the matches pre-season, it was mentioned and things like that. And then first chance he gets in the Premier League, it's in the back of the net. no problem, boys. And also he's picking kids who broke their nose up off the floor and, you know, giving them a cuddle and getting a picture with them as well. He's what a fucking guy, you know what I mean? What a man. I mean, obviously the down point of the proceedings on Friday was that Alisson was injured when he was making the kick. You obviously all know that by now. Still sort of waiting for the actual prognosis on that, but it doesn't look good, does it? You know, it was initially thought to be calf. Now they're talking about it could be calf and Achilles. If that's the case, obviously it's an even longer time out. And so there's not very much Liverpool can do either. Obviously, Adrian come on the pitch and got a great welcome. And then very shortly after was picking the ball out of the back of the net. And, you know, there is a worry now that, you know, how good is he? How good is the reserve fella at West Ham? But we shall see. I mean, we who knows? West Ham fans seem to say just that he's okay and that he's all right. And I guess when you're picking a lad up on a free and expecting him to be your second keeper, that's about all you're asking for, isn't it? You can't expect to have 2 world-class goalies on the books, and we probably haven't. And the other one is that, you know, this Lonergan fella who had a bit of a go in the...
Andy Lonergan.
he might be getting signs up and is apparently going to be on the bench for the Super Cup.
Imagine being him, by the way.
Oh, the boss, wouldn't he? Made
like, imagine coming on tour with the Reds. Oh, amazing. Gets to go around America, play for Liverpool, and then we're going to have to sign you here, lad, and you're on the bench for the Super Cup. Unbelievable.
Imagine it, you know, he's probably said in the summer, like, you know, talking to the missus and saying, like, listen, love, I think you're going to have to cancel the subscription to the TV Times. I haven't got a club. And the next minute it's like, oh, I'm training with the Reds. But I don't think it's going to lead to anything. They just need a bit of a keeper. And then next minute it's off to Istanbul, love. See you later. What for? Super Cup, playing against you.
Do you know what?
I love stuff like that. I always remember, do you remember Paul Jones?
Yeah.
With his massive shorts?
Wasn't he the oldest debutant?
Yeah, biggest shorts ever for Liverpool Football Club. And it was boss. It was just like a nice little tale. You know, I even like the tale around, he might be a mank and all the rest of it, but I like the lad that they got from Swansea, scored yesterday. You know, it's not long since his half fella died, and it's just a nice story, regardless of who he plays for. It's just a nice story, and I like that football does that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we'll be saying this if Adrian picks up an injury again in the Super Cup on Wednesday, and we've got Lonergan in nets.
Could have James Milner in goal by the way things are going. I mean, yeah, I mentioned defensive worries before as well. I mean, I just think it's a little bit overplayed. I think we'll be fine. I think, you know, the centre-halves are great, and on that subject, we've woke up this morning to the idea that both Milan and Roma are apparently in for Dejan Lovren. Obviously, there's still time for them to make that signing if they want to, because while the Premier League window is shut, their window is still open 11 days to go for the Italian transfer window. I guess the question is, you know, have we got enough cover? So it's, you know, you obviously got Matip, you've got Gomez. Everyone's happy if either of them are Partey and Van Dijk, but once you dig down after that, it's Van der Beek, it's Hoover, it's maybe even Fabinho dropping back into centre half and things like that.
It's a lot of unknowns is my thing. I don't want to see anyone sold unless it's someone like Kent, but I mean, in terms of those players that we're expecting now to stay with Liverpool, I don't want to see anyone sold because obviously we can't bring someone in. I think it all depends on what Van den Berg's look like in training, and you know, he gets a couple of run-outs in pre-season, but you know, I don't think anyone's expecting them to make any sort of impact over the next sort of 6 months unless it's in the cup games. I'd like us to not take risks and just see how we are until January, because I always feel like at this stage of the season it feels like we've got loads of cover in places, and then it's, you know, very quickly you're in September and October and you've got the League Cup and you've got the Champions League games, and then suddenly you're picking up injuries, and then you're into Christmas and you've got all of these. I just don't want to take any risk, and I'm quite happy with the 4 that we've got at centre back, and then obviously some of the young players that will get games in the cup games.
Yeah, well, there's loads going on at the Anfield Wrap this week, as ever. Loads to talk about, reviewing everything that happened at the weekend, previewing everything that's to come, including the Super Cup against Chelsea in Istanbul, and of course the weekend match away to Southampton. Loads to get stuck into around Chelsea as well. I mean, I watched their game yesterday, and as I said at the top, they look shit.
Like, it was wild.
Yeah, it was all over the show.
It was really, really shit. So I missed the first 20 minutes, and the first 20 minutes was meant to be when they really were quite good, apparently.
Yeah, they started well, and Abraham hit the post, yeah, but And they played some nice stuff and they looked energetic. They just never really looked like scoring. They're taking a lot of shots from the sort of the edge of the box and that sort of stuff. And you contrast to, there's a piece from Andrew Beasley today in the Echo where he's talking about the quality of chances that Liverpool make now in games and the fact that, you know, more often than not, because they're a quality chance, they end up in the back of the net. Chelsea, by contrast, yeah, some nice stuff and some energy early on and stuff like that, but without ever really looking like they're going to score a goal. I mean, Abraham's effort's a decent shot from distance that it's the post. There's a few other sort of similar ones at the woodwork again a little bit later on, but, you know, overall, they never sort of built that head of steam where you thought they're definitely going to score. They were on top. But, you know, United, when they got their chances, were a little bit more clinical, and that's why you got the scoreline that you got. And you kind of think, you know, they looked really vulnerable on the counter-attack, Chelsea. There was holes everywhere, and you just sort of thought, well, if it's like this on Wednesday, I think we'll be all right. I mean, you know, the Super Cup, it's not ideal to be going to Turkey and back midweek when you've got a game next weekend, but, you know, you'd much rather have it be Friday, Wednesday, Saturday than it be Sunday, Wednesday and the weekend, which is what Chelsea have.
Yeah, I want to win the Super Cup more than the Community Shield. I know that's an easy thing to say afterwards, but the one that I sort of, the reason I think about that is when you see the new players signing and they sit down in Melwood in front of the, you know, the trophies, all of the trophies that Liverpool won and the amount of times. Community Shield's not on there, it's the Super Cup's the last one on there. So I always think that's a little bit of measure of, you know, how highly that's thought of. And I'm just into Liverpool picking up silverware, whether you see it as a bit of a friendly or a dud or whether it is a, you know, a European trophy. But I'd also like to stick another nail in, you know, not the coffin of Frank Lampard, but just bring him down another peg or two, because I'm all for that in regards to Chelsea. And I just love the Reds to swoop into Turkey and beat them 4-5, and suddenly there's these questions around his appointment and where Chelsea go this season and so on. I'm all for that, because I think it was Rafa Honigstein. He posted the two squads. Did you see that? The first team in the squad from the weekend, and then from 08-09 of both teams, and how, you know, you had like Ronaldo, Rooney, Tevez and so on, and then you had the drop off for United, and it was the same with Chelsea, some of the players that they had sort of 10 years ago, and then you look now and it was like, you know, Abraham, Mount, and it was just like, it looks a bit grim to be them at the minute.
And even when Mourinho was talking about it on Sky, he was getting stuck in, as you would imagine. He was talking about, you know, you need to be playing some of the older heads. Well, if Kante's in there, yeah, obviously good player and makes a big difference to them defensively. But Giroud, I mean, he's 33 and he scores about 5 goals a season. I mean, he's not making a big difference for me. And this is the idea that, you know, whatever you're doing with Chelsea, whatever Frank Lampard does, where are the goals coming from? It might all bite us on the arse on Wednesday, but we shall see.
I know, yeah. Nobody clipped it. No Chelsea fans clipped this. Have they seen this?
You probably wouldn't have got this deep into the programme. We'll be all right. But yeah, loads more to come, as I say. We'll be previewing it both as podcasts and videos, as usual, on the Tour Player service. If you're not already involved in that, go and have a look at that on the AnfieldApp.com. Also on the AnfieldApp.com/shop is our new book, which is reliving a historic year following Liverpool Football Club, which obviously ended with the glory in Madrid. It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Yes. So yeah, if you want to get involved and have a go at that, have a go. It's got, you know, all the people that are regulars on the Anfield app in there, really, at different, Rob Gutman, Neil Atkinson, Ben Johnson, etc. Me. Hi. So yeah, get involved, keep back on what we're doing. It looks lovely, it's a nice souvenir, it's nice to relive the season as well, isn't it? Because it was a fantastic one. You might still be going to foreign beaches, it is still that time of year as well, so that might be a little nice read for you. Edited by the able hands of Josh Sexton as well, so well done to him as well. And yeah, that's been Talking Reds for Monday. Get involved with the content, read the stuff, watch the stuff, listen to the stuff. Up the fucking Reds.